It's Aleya Antoine. You're listening to Tease podcast.
Everyone loves the tease. Stop.
Don't get too excited.
I can feel myself just slowly moving into Karen mode. Like, I haven't hit it yet, but you know when you feel yourself and you're like, I'm about to go off. I'm about to go off. I'm about to go off. Lord, calm me down. So... Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tease podcast. Happy Tuesday, bitches. It is so amazing to be back with you guys. If you notice something different, I got my hair redone. We are in a new red era, and I actually got my hair done by Kai again. So Kai is pretty much the next up-and-coming, I don't really know famous hairstylists, but whoever it is, Kai's going to definitely beat them out. Wow, I am just so excited about it. I think it's the perfect time to change my hair too, because, you know, girls, when we're going through something, what do? We change our fucking hair. And I'm turning 23 this month, which is absolutely insane. And so I thought, like, it's just time for a new era. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I had that color, I had the lighter ginger red from like 20 to 22. And so I definitely feel like it was perfect for that, but I definitely wanted to go darker, but I didn't want to change my hair color completely. Mostly because, I don't know, because I've had people be like, would you change your hair to, like, let's say you got the job opportunity of your dreams, right? But they said you can't have, like, a vivid hair color. You have to go back to black. Would you change it? And honestly, I've been thinking, and I'm like, no. Like, I would not change my hair color for a business or anything, mostly because, like, I went to private school when I was younger, and they had so many regulations. Like, you couldn't have your nails a color. You couldn't even have any type of acrylic. You couldn't wear makeup. You couldn't wear eyeshadow. You had to keep your hair the natural color. You couldn't even really do highlights either. And so I feel like the reason why I don't think I'm extreme, but like I am aware of like the hair, the piercings, I have some tattoos, you know, and I don't think I've gone overboard with any of it, but I think the reason why I can be seen to some people as sometimes more extreme, whereas some girls my age are still in the point to where like they keep no tattoos, no piercings, no hair dye. And I think it's because I was in like a repressive environment for like 17 years of my life. I feel like I'm just now getting to express myself through my appearance, because I even wore a uniform at those schools too. And so I definitely encourage anyone who's thinking like, should I not change this because of so-and-so? I think that if there's something that you want to tweak about yourself and it's completely harmless, then like, why not? Also, like, hair dye fades. Like, if I wanted to go back to black, I could, but, you know, hit me up when I'm 35 and maybe I'll consider it. It was so fun though, because so we did the color at our salon here, but then I went to get my hair styled at Kai's school that they've been going to, and I need to go to a beauty school more often, because I felt hyped up like never before. Everyone was like, oh my God, your hair is so pretty. Your hair is so thick. It's so long. You're so pretty. Kai finished my hair and like 20 girls came to look at it and they're like, oh my God, that looks so good. And I think that part of the confidence that comes when you switch your hair is the other girlies in the hair salon or hair studio hyping you up. So I've just been really feeling myself with it. But speaking of birthdays, Kai's birthday was actually 2 days ago. So happy birthday, Kai. I mean, I swear Kai will be back on the pod soon. I know y'all have been asking. Our schedules have just been completely different lately. But we just went out to downtown Vegas for dinner, and it was so much fun. I came up with a new birthday rule for myself like a month ago, and I've always been the person that wants to spend birthdays with as many people as I can, as many friends as I can. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like sometimes on birthdays, we all just end up crying or you end up disappointed. And I think it's because you're extra sensitive, and any fuck over that someone does to you around your birthday time feels like an absolute personal attack that y'all can never come back from. Like, it's one thing to fuck me over in like June, but to fuck me over the week of my birthday, like, you want a war. You know what I mean? And so looking back at all the birthdays I've had so many where when I think of like the picture of it, I'm like, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you. And I end up being like, oh my God, I spent my birthday with a bunch of people that I don't like. And so I came up with a new rule for myself. And on the actual day of my birthday, I will only be spending it with blood relatives or Kai. And it's not a diss or anything. Like, I obviously would still hang out with my friends the day before or the day after or a couple of days after. But it's literally just to like preserve it. I mean, basically what I'm saying is I have birthday trauma. Like, I remember one birthday where Kai, for some reason, we were literally laughing about this, planned to have my 21st birthday the weekend before I turned 21. So I got into a couple clubs with my fake. Then we get into the last club. They have an 18 and a 21 part. The guy busted my fake. I can only stay in the 18 part because my birthday was next week. But all my friends went to the 21 part to get drinks. And I cussed everyone out because I was already drinking too. And I'm an Aries. It's not my fault. And I was like, fuck all of y'all. Y'all are my real friends. You're going to leave me alone on my birthday. And I literally called an Uber and left. I literally left my own birthday. So I've just had so many birthday meltdowns. And then the next year, I did not know that Kai had beef with a friend, and I invited them over as part of Kai's surprise with a bunch of other people, but still dropped the ball on that one. Neither of our frontal lobes were developed, and they're still not developed, so I don't blame us for this, but I think it's just a good precaution to take. So I told Kai about what I was going to do. So Kai was like, that is such a good idea. I'm going to do it too. So we both did that. And so we had like a one-on-one dinner. And oh my God, I was like TikTok stalking like a motherfucker. It is so true that TikTok is the new research because I was like, okay, I could Google this, but like, I'm not going to get the vibe, you know? Like, I need to go on TikTok so I can see the vibe, so I can see what everything is, because people lie on Google and websites lie. And so we went to this place called Beauty in Essex, and it's like a speakeasy, and there's like a pawn shop outside of it with a secret door that you enter through. So I thought it was so cute. The lights were super dim, and I saw on one of the reviews that like an older person left, and they were like, this would have been a great dinner, but the music was way too loud. And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. Your hate is my love. I want to go there. So we went there and it was just so fun. And it was so funny because we were supposed to go clubbing after. And I don't know what's going on, but we're like eating and Kai's like, so do you want to go to the club? And I'm like, it's your birthday. Do you want to go to the club? And Kai's like, well, do you want to go? And we're both like, and I'm like, you have final call because it's your birthday. It was one of those things where we're both like, And Kai's like, what if we went home? What if we just went home? And I feel like I'm two extremes. I'm either partying every effing weekend or I am like, I want to stay home for a month. And I don't know, I was thinking about it because my mom came to visit and I was talking to her about it. And she was like, so have y'all been going out a lot? And I was like, we've been going out, but not as much as we did in Seattle. And I feel like it's because we're 22 right now. And I was thinking about it and I was like, when I was younger, like pretty much 17 through 21, I had friends who were always older than me. Like when I was 19, my best friend was like 25. When I was like 21, my best friends were like 23 and 24, you know? And so I was thinking about it and I was like, oh my God, I've never really had a friend party with me that's 22. Is there something about this age that makes us hibernate? I think it's because we go crazy when we're 21. And so like 22, you're like an old person, basically. You're like exhausted, you know? But it was super fun. Another gift guide that I would give y'all is basically what I got Kai for their birthday. So for their birthday, I got Kai a customized vinyl. So it basically has a picture of us on the cover, a picture of us on the back. I got to burn the songs on it. And then the actual album has a picture of us as well. And then it has like the two sides with the songs. And I picked a bunch of songs that like are meaningful to us. And then I iced Kai out just a little bit. I got them a Swarovski. How do you say Swarovski? Swarovski. You know what I mean? The crystal place. I got them a tennis bracelet because last year Kai got me the pink tennis bracelet. And so I got them like a matching black one. I thought the black was so cool and it's just like so Kai. That's because I got a new tattoo. So I was like, this is perfect. And then I got the crystal earrings, the gold ones too. And so those are just some gift ideas if you have to get a gift for someone in your life. Literally copy those. I feel like guys, it's not just that girls love jewelry. Everyone loves jewelry. I feel like no matter who you're dating, no matter how they identify, you can't go wrong with jewelry. You can't go wrong with something icy. I think it's also because like everyone loves jewelry, but I don't, like me personally, I love jewelry, but I don't like spending a lot of money on it for myself. For someone else, fine. I'm cool with that. But like something about buying like expensive jewelry for me when I could be buying like, I don't know, like a dress or shoes, I don't want to do it. And I always think that the best gifts are the gifts that you want, but you don't want to pay for. Those are the best gifts of all time. But outside of birthdays and March and everything, life has still been in that what is going on phase that I talked about last episode. It hasn't changed too much, but I feel like we're getting some resolutions, you know? Yesterday, though, I went through the most insane BS, guys. I went to drop my car off because I was like, you know what? I'm getting my life together. I'm going to schedule every appointment that I could possibly have. So I had a dermatologist appointment. This week I have my doctor's appointment. Like I was just like, I'm on a health kick, you know? And when you're on a health kick, you should just get them out of the way. And so a part of that, I was like, okay, my car's been needing an oil change for like way too long. I have a Civic and basically like it tells you what you need to get done. I take it to the dealership. As always, they try to tell you need to get this, this, and this. I got 2 extra things just because my car is at like 90,000 miles and I want to buy it out. And so I was like, okay, I'll get a couple extra maintenance things, you know? But my car was like running fine. I get it done. The guy, I don't like talking to guys at dealerships. When I was in Texas and Washington, they were completely fine and chill, but these ones were just giving like your stereotypical car guys, you know, like just kind of douchey, kind of scammy. Like, oh, he would not stop calling me dear and like all these like weird terms. I just like, I didn't like it. But either way, I brought my car in, I get it back after waiting for it. I'm driving it on the freaking highway, and I notice that every time I brake, my car is vibrating as if you put a vibrator inside of you, or like a massage chair, like that much vibration. Like the seat was like, I literally was like, is there a sex toy in my seat? You know what I mean? Like it was vibrating like crazy. So I call them and I'm like, my car was not doing this before. Now it's doing it. So now I have to go back, right? And here's the thing. I'm cool dropping $500 on maintenance for my car if the maintenance fucking works. For me to leave my car to be in worse condition, unacceptable. Unacceptable. So I can feel myself just slowly moving into Karen mode. Like I haven't hit it yet, but you know when you feel yourself and you're like, I'm about to go off. I'm about to go off. I'm about to go off. Lord, calm me down. So I bring my car back and they're basically like, you know, like we only have like 2 hours left. So we'll just give you a rental car and you could come back tomorrow and get it like first thing in the morning, latest like midday 2 or 3. So I'm like, whatever. I get a rental car and it's a freaking mom car. Here's the thing, guys. I am a sedan driver. Basically, I like little cars. Mostly because if I take a turn going 80 miles per hour, my car is not going to flip. I don't trust myself driving big cars because I feel like I am capable of flipping them. Honestly, I don't trust myself. I'm like, this is a lot of car. Like, whew, I can't handle all this car. This car is a little thick. And so I see a little van, and I just want you to imagine that you've only driven one type of car your entire life, and then someone hands you a completely different one as a rental, and I live 30 minutes away, so I was like, how the fuck am I going to get home in this? But honestly, I did it, and I have to admit, I kind of liked the mom car because I could actually see over the trucks on the road. I felt a little more powerful. I could see above. I'm like, no one's blocking my side of you. So I kind of miss her. You never know. Maybe I'll have a mom car eventually. But I get the car. The next day rolls around, and I am one of those people to where like if something's going wrong, like I can't move on with my life. And when I'm going to sleep, I'm thinking about my car. When I wake up, I'm thinking about my car. I'm eating breakfast, I'm thinking about my car. I'm watching TV, I'm thinking about my car. Like, I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking about my car. Like, I can't get anything done without being like, what to do when the dealer botches your car. Did I get scammed? I sent my receipt to ChatGPT. Did I get scammed if my car's vibrating right now? And so 2-3 rolls around, they don't call me. So I call them. And like, here's the thing. I don't want to pull the gender card, but I'm going to pull the gender card. I feel like because I'm a woman, that I was completely taken advantage of at this dealership, honestly. And I think that a lot of girls feel that way. And that's why a lot of times you give your car to the guy in your life to take it for you. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I should have let my stepdad do it for me. And I didn't think that this would happen, mostly because I've had a good success rate with my car over and over again. And I don't know, Las Vegas is just fucking with me all the way around, front and back. But I definitely feel like I was given the runaround and they thought that I couldn't understand what they were saying, but they forgot that my stepdad is a car guy. You know what I mean? And I know for a fact this was it because I was listening to them talk to some of the other girls that brought in their stuff. And they weren't talking to them the same way that they did the men. And like literally they would be like, there's a young lady here to see you. I saw with this one girl, and people would rush to get her. And I think it's because they're trying to pull one over on you. And it just makes me so upset because it's like, it's just the nastiness of taking advantage of people. And it's just the nastiness of taking advantage of women. Like, why would you take advantage of women? That's just so messed up. And where are your morals? Anywho, I call and they're basically like, so it's not our service. We went over everything and it wasn't us, but we also don't know what the problem is. So, and here's the thing. I know that I'm not going to explain all of this because I get confused too. But basically, I know that the problem was from their service because it didn't mess up until I got their service, right? And then they basically are like, so we'll just let you know what's going on and what the charge will be for that. So they're trying to charge me again. So I call my stepdad, I tell him, and he's like, say this, this, and this. I wrote down my script. I called back, I spoke to a manager, and I was like, this is wrong. She's trying to give me the runaround. I'm like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what you're saying is wrong, you know? And so then I have to escalate it and everything. And it's just annoying when places force you to be a Karen. In this case, I had to be a Brad, though, because a Brad bringing his car to the shop would not take this shit of them fucking up your car. A Brad would not take this, so I'm not gonna take it. So I felt so uncomfortable and out of my league, but I had to get it popping, I had to get it snapping, I had to make calls, I had to write emails. All of a sudden, right after my last call, my car is immediately fixed, magically, majestically, with no charge. All of a sudden. And honestly, I'm still bad about it because I'm like, it shouldn't take me having to like be a bitch basically to like get stuff done. And it's just annoying because I know that when I walked in after all those calls and everything, like a bunch of the guys were like kind of looking at me and laughing. And I know it's probably because they were talking about me and saying, oh, that's your bitchy customer. But it's like, you forced me into this role. Like, I didn't want it. You made me do it. And then the guy, when I'm checking out, goes, you know, I'm the new guy here and I would never take advantage of a customer, and we just try to like pull it over on you and all this stuff. And basically like changed his voice, changed his whole demeanor, and please tell me what's wrong with me, because then I felt bad. And then I felt bad. I shouldn't have felt bad because he only felt bad because they got caught. But now I'm feeling bad that he's like, I'm the new guy. Like, oh, give me a break. I need to lose whatever sensitivity bone that lets me be gullible and manipulated. Like, I don't know what that bone is called, but I need it out of me. I need it out of me because I probably could have solved this immediately if I wouldn't like have like given them grace and like gave them the time to wait. But like with me doing that, I ended up wasting like 48 hours of my life. Like, it's just time I'll never get back. Speaking of being a Karen, how I told y'all that I was leaving my job, that the manager was super rude to me and everything. So after I put in my 2 weeks and she read it, all of a sudden she has a change of heart. And like I told y'all, she started acting all nice, right? And like sad that I was leaving. Now, the next week of my actual last week of work comes up. And when I tell y'all she is laying it on thick, she is laying it on thick. She literally is offering me pizza and dessert and like, you can get this, you can get this. I would be walking, not even like really next to her, but like maybe in proximity, and she'd be like, oh, sorry, am I in your way? Like, completely different, trying to talk to me a bunch, like going on and on and on. And you know what? Like, I don't want beef. Again, like, I'm not trying to be in the bitchy position. I want peace. I want to enjoy my life. So I just go along and I'm being nice too, da 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 da. And then my other manager that like I've gone along with from the jump, she's been the realest. I tell her like, yeah, she's been nice. And she goes, you know why she's been nice, right? And I was like, why? And she was like, because when she found out that you were quitting because of how she treated you, she's scared that you're going to go to HR. That's what she said. And so I was like, oh my God, this is so annoying. I just don't like the whole like manipulative stuff, you know what I mean? So I played along, and then I had my final day and I sent the email to HR. Mostly because like, if you're gonna do that to me, I'll do it to you. And I understand, guys, that it sucks when you have to like feel like the bad guy, because trust me, in both of these situations, I do feel like for some reason shady, even though I was shaded first. But I think that sometimes you just have to teach people how to treat you. And sometimes it's like when it really is affecting you in very personal ways, such as like your money, your car, your livelihood, your feelings, your romantic life, your mental health. When it comes to the things that are important and that you need for survival, basically, sometimes you have to like buck up and like match them with their same energy and fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? Like, you can't always take the high road, because sometimes when you take the high road, you end up with literally nothing. You end up getting charged more. You end up getting treated bad. And so sometimes you have to, like, if you go low, I'll meet you in hell. You know what I mean? And I know that goes against like all the wellness advice that people give. And I do think that there are times where you could take the high road. I'm not saying all the time you have to do this. There's a lot of times where I've been like, I'm just going to remove myself. I'm taking the high road. But there are some things to where you just can't let it slide. And money, your car, your shelter, again, all those things, you can't let it slide, guys. And I just want to emphasize that to y'all so much, because I know that especially a lot of girls listen, and I know that you're going to feel guilty having to do the same game that someone's doing to you, but somehow you have to like power through the guilt, and you have to like boss up and protect yourself. You have to protect yourself and the people that you love if it's for someone else, you know? On a high note of recent events though, I feel like I've been starting to like get in the groove of like enjoying Vegas life a little bit more. I still don't feel like a part of the mix or anything. I definitely like still feel kind of awkward, you know? I don't think I felt comfortable in Seattle till after a year, so I'm trying not to think too hard about it. But one thing that did help is my parents did come to visit. They came to visit, and it was actually so much fun. And basically, I've always loved my parents. My mom, I grew up with a single mom. My stepdad I met when I was like 13. And I would say that me and my mom, while I was like a kid, were like tight, like inseparable. She actually, I remember she would pick me up from school and be like, hey girly. And like that kind of stuff is like the fun part of having like a young mom. And then somewhere along the way, we just like butted heads for like years and years and years. And we were not vibing with each other. And it wasn't like a magic solution that fixed our relationship. It took multiple visits. It took multiple talks. Like, we both put work into the relationship. And now I'm really at a point to where like I could say that I'm friends with my parents. It is so fun. Like, I always watch TikToks or you watch movies and stuff where like the kids are actually like friends with their parents. And I always wanted that relationship, and for a long time I thought that I wouldn't get it. It's so weird, like when I pictured my life like as a teenager and stuff, I always pictured myself with the career, and I never pictured myself really with relationships, which is really sad. Like, I always went for the career part of my life first, you know? And it is really crazy how sometimes the universe gives you what you were asking for first, you know? And although I still feel like I'm trying to find myself job and career wise and like build everything up, it's honestly crazy that I got blessed with like so much love in my life, because that wasn't what I was chasing at any point. That wasn't even what I expected. That wasn't what I envisioned. And so it is really ironic, because then I have friends who like are obsessed with like the idea of love, finding the perfect person, happily ever after. They may be in relationships, but they're not that happy with them, but their career's popping off and they're like, you know, I didn't really want this part, but this is working. And so I guess I'll just have to like find that perfect relationship later. And it's crazy how sometimes you get the opposite first. I don't know like what the psychology is of that. Maybe it's the psychology of when you're not looking, you find it. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you're trying too hard for something, that's not all the times what you get. I don't know. I don't understand the psychology of it, but regardless, I'm super thankful for the new relationship that I have, because I definitely feel like when we were at odds for a long time, like mentally it was fucking with me. And so it was just so nice to be able to have 4 days together and to just like have fun. It felt like it made Vegas feel more like home, because they never visited me in Seattle either. So it just like really felt like I was alone up there with Kai, you know what I mean? Like none of my family had seen it. It just felt like I could tell you about it, but you haven't seen it. And so it's cool that like they actually got to like be a part of my life. And I really enjoyed it and I had so much fun. And trust me, if you're at odds with family members or someone in your life that's really important to you, I do think that there's always a way to find your way back, but it does take work. Like I would say it took years again. Like it doesn't come instantly, but it's definitely not impossible. I think it just takes both people admitting their faults, and it honestly takes both people to stop judging each other, honestly. I would say that that's one thing that has definitely left. Like we don't judge each other at all anymore, and I think that that's part of why it works. But I'll give you a little itinerary of what we did, because I know that sometimes when people come to Vegas, as much as it's fun to go to the clubs and party and drink and gamble, I know sometimes people come and those aren't really the things that they want to do. They want to like sightsee, do experiences, see shows. And I know a lot of people who actually do come to Vegas with their parents. Like I remember having a friend when I was younger, and her older sister and her mom would go to see Chippendales every single year. And so this is like a lukewarm Vegas itinerary that we did. So the first day we went to Cirque du Soleil, which was absolutely amazing. Seeing Cirque du Soleil was actually on my bucket list for so long, because I never lived in a state where they were regularly performing, you know? And oh my gosh, if you could see a show, we saw the Mystere one, and which is basically their classical version, and it was, those performers are amazing. I mean, the way that they can hold each other up and like do handstands while the other one's like doing a handstand, like it's just, I can't even put it into words how crazy the stunts were. You should definitely see it. But I think finding a show that you want to see in Vegas. Vegas is full of 20 million shows that you can see. So I think going to one that you really want that speaks to you is a good idea. Then we went around the strip. So we walked around the Bellagio. The Bellagio has like a botanical garden that they make new every season. So when we went, it was Chinese New Year with Year the Snake, I believe. And so it was a bunch of just different flower sculptures kind of emulating that. Then we walked around there, because you have to walk around the strip to really understand Vegas. We went to the Venetian, because the Venetian's gorgeous, and we ate at Tao, which was so good. And then we went to one other place. Bellagio. Oh, then we went to Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace has like a bunch of cool sculptures. Like it's just really cool. So we walked around there. That took like hours, because like the strip is not small. Like it is huge. Walking around just 3 to 4 casinos is going to take you like over an hour, you know? And then the next day we went to Red Rock Canyon, which I've done hiking there before with Kai. It's gorgeous. It's literally pink rocks and red rocks. It's so pretty. So we did a hike over there. I did an easier one because I was like, Kai's not with us. It's just me and my mom. And I can't save you. I can't save a bitch. I can't. So we're gonna go to Red Rock, and we did like one of the easier trails, but you like could do a whole scenic drive where you see all the views. It's so funny because living in Texas, I remember calling things quote unquote scenic, and it was just a bunch of rocks. Now that I live in other states, I realize how crazy that was. Because I remember my friends that were from other places would always be like, "What scenic are you talking about? This is ugly." Yeah, I feel like I'm seeing more of the world now. We did that, and then the next day we went to brunch just in my area. So that's just like a good lukewarm itinerary. It honestly, it's gonna take up a lot of your day. And you can just fill it in with little filler activities. So that was really fun. It was really fun because like Kai and my family got along really well, and I always wanted that. And then right after my parents left, me and Kai went out with some of Kai's new friends to a thing called Boozy Bingo. I love games. I love playing games. I love game nights. I am definitely going to be the old person that is playing bingo all the time. So I was excited. And so basically, there's the strip, which is like all those hotels that you know about. And then there's Old Vegas, which is like the classical showgirl, really like downtown vibe part of Vegas. So it was one of the little like clubs or bars there. And basically, Kai's friend knew the guy who was MC, the boozy bingo of it. And it was super fun because it's like a bunch of drunk, like 20-year-olds, maybe some 30-year-olds playing bingo. And then like they give you specific patterns, and you know how guys like to not listen. So let's say someone goes to bingo but they didn't listen to what the pattern was. Their friend has to put on like this gigantic cartoon fist and punch them in the balls. And if they don't hit them hard enough, they have to do it again. And if everyone's like, you still didn't hit them hard enough, now the friend gets to hit you. And at first I thought they were joking, but like, no, they're literally punching each other so hard down there. It's crazy. It's crazy. Kai actually won bingo, and it's so annoying because Kai does not care about games. I care about games. Kai was not paying attention to their card. I kept having to be like, you got this number, you got this number. And then Kai's the one who wins. That's how it goes, right? That's how it goes. I wanted it too bad. I need to stop wanting things too bad. But it was super fun because I love hanging out with new friends, guys. Like, I've had oh my gosh, I feel like I've had so many different seasons of Friends. And one thing I can say that I've loved about each season, no matter where we ended up now, I love when you're first getting to know someone. I love the honeymoon phase. I love when everyone's just on their best behavior. And I know that sounds so shitty to be like, I hate when I get to know people. But it's like, okay, I love getting to know people just because, like, on a personal level, I'm very intuitive. I'm very nosy, honestly. And when I meet people, I want to know everything about them. I'm a communications major. Like, my major is like understanding people. Like, I want to dig into your soul. That has come to bite me in the ass so many times because then I know too much about someone and then they start acting a fool around me. So recently, I've developed a new blasé approach to life. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think that I need to know everyone's life story, everyone's trauma, and everyone's backstory that I meet. I need to stop psychoanalyzing people and I need to stop letting them trauma dump on me. So that's my new thing. And it was just so much fun because let's be real. Sometimes you love your friend, then you really get to know them and you end up fucking hating them. You know what I mean? And so I love the idea of making new friends and like we don't have to get that deep that fast. Like I'm going to stop basically accelerating my friendships. I am going to take it step by step. We're just going to have fun. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. Maybe we'll get to know each other along the way, but I'm done with the whole like it's our second time hanging out. So, what was your childhood like? No, I got to stop that. I got to stop that. It gets me in trouble. And then it makes this weird dynamic to where like me and my friend basically are like living as like a relationship, and it's terrible. It's terrible, and I am going to stop doing it. But it is true. Sometimes you get to know people when you hate them. And so I love the idea of having a lot of, I guess you could call it surface level friends. But I don't mean surface level friends forever. Obviously, like, I want to go deeper eventually, but I'm going to not force it anymore. I'm going to let the deepness find itself. And if it doesn't, oh well, I think that's okay. Woo! That is all the updates I have for you guys. It has been so good talking to y'all. I think the podcast room will be done by next episode, if not the one directly after that, but it's going to be so good. We have our next Tease Tuesday coming up in not next week, but the week after, because we're bi-weekly now. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Tease Pod to keep up with everything, at Tease Podcast on all other platforms. Be sure to follow me at Aleya Antoine. I've been posting my workouts now on my Instagram too, so I know that some of y'all wanted to see that, so I'm going to start getting comfortable with that more. I recently posted an ab and a leg day that I do, so be sure to tune into those too. And be sure to write in any of your questions, stories, and advice on the forums, guys. I want to do a Tease Me with y'all, so give me the juice, give me the tea. I want to know everything about you. We're diving deep. I'm accelerating this friendship. But that is everything that I have for you guys. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Tease Tuesday. Bye.